Last month, I went completely back to scratch to try dropshipping all over again as if I were a beginner with one goal: to prove that it's not dead. Over the past years, I've scaled numerous dropshipping stores to multiple six figures, but the same question has always been on my mind. What if I went back to scratch, starting with only the knowledge that I have today? For a long time, I was a little bit nervous as I knew that this would take up a lot of my time and also effort. But a little bit over a month ago, I decided to do it. So this challenge was started on October the 23rd, and as you can see, we were at $0, but then we started running paid ads, and already the first day of running the store, we made over $950. But guess what? It scaled really rapidly. So October the 25th, we already made $5,000 in a day. When have you ever seen products take off like that? The reason this worked so well is because I was able to find a product that nobody else was selling, and the profit margins were pretty decent. I bought the product for $15 and sold it for $39. And the way I found this product was by using my AliExpress more to love research strategy, which I'm going to show you right now really quickly. So the way to find new products is by going to AliExpress, and you want to scroll down here past all the categories down till you find a section called More to Love. And as you can see, we're already finding so many good dropshipping products. We got this one, we got this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. We already found 5 products in just 1 second because it's so well optimized. So at the beginning of the day, I was just scrolling down here for 10-15 minutes until I encountered the best product I've ever seen. With zero competition, I started scaling and the sales were insane. I've not seen anything like this before. So over the next days, I was simply just scaling a product from 5K a day to 6.8, all the way up to $7,000 in a day. But then as you can see, something really bad happened. People were going absolutely crazy for this product, and I was making over $5,000 every single day. But all of this from scratch. I had not planned out a single thing, but realizing that I had zero plans on how to handle shipping, I panicked. I have never experienced having a store blow up like this, and I had orders to fulfill. So the only logical thing to do here was to pause my ads so that I could figure out shipping, and that's why no sales came in that day. If you ever get in this situation, just deactivate payments and figure out the back end before you scale too high, because you could actually end up getting in a lot of problems and go broke. But this would have never worked if I was overthinking too much beforehand. Just take the first step, and I can guarantee you that you're gonna solve all your problems eventually once you start making money. In this situation, the smartest thing you can do is to use SendDrop, as they can source pretty much any product for you. You won't have to order stock or talk to suppliers. So now that shipping was fixed, it was time to start scaling again, hoping for the best. Q4 was ongoing and Black Friday was approaching, so I simply decided to just take the risk and scale as hard as I could without too much proof of concept. I didn't know what would happen, the product quality, the customer service, if I would get charged back, but you know what? It worked. I went straight back up to making $4,000 to $6,000 a day, peaking at $9,000 in a day that week. I was mainly running Facebook ads, but this is where I decided to integrate TikTok ads for my product as well, which somehow magically just worked. In many cases, your product won't just work on both advertising platforms, so I guess you could say I was kind of lucky. So now that we had our success and we had the supplier issue, we managed to actually get pretty stable for a couple of days and scale to 4.8K, 5.5K, 4.8, and peaking at $9,000 that weekend. For multiple days, I was making $4,000 to $6,000 plus a day until November the 3rd, where my store's revenue was cut in half. This was super scary as things worked pretty much effortlessly up to this point. There was no way the store would be dead already. It just didn't make any sense. So the next day, I implemented an ad strategy which was absolutely amazing, but at the same time very, very scary. But listen to me now, because if you do this, you can get incredibly rich with TikTok ads. I noticed that most of my sales were coming around 7 to 8 p.m., but my ads were running the entire day. So what I did is I took my best ad set, copied it, and just 5x'd my budget on it. I went from spending $40 a day on the ad set to spending $200 in a very short amount of time and started praying. And guess what? It worked. I hit record-breaking hours before it eventually evened out gradually again. I kept using this scaling method for a couple of days, but it made my life really stressful. The question of having a losing day was always there. With the higher ad spend, sales are absolutely essential, and without them, I could actually end up losing a lot of money. Luckily for me, It worked though. But I eventually stopped and started scaling with CBO campaigns mainly. And this is exactly where things became much more consistent for me. So once I started implementing this, we were having some pretty stable days. Then I decided to shut off one of my advertising platforms, put it back on again, up to scaling, and at some point we were hitting record-breaking days every single day, all the way up to Black Friday, where we generated $18,000. Finally, things were working consistently for me, and I was even debating on turning this store into a mini brand. Some days I managed to only profit a couple of $100s though, and it made me a bit nervous because I was spending a lot of money, and the thought of losing it all was always there as I got the success relatively quick. But let me show you one trick that helped me so much with profitability. So inside of the TikTok Ads Manager, when you're setting up the ad set, there is a section down here called specific time. It's basically just day parting, where you can choose to run your ads specific times of the day. If we're spending $100 every single day, it could spend that while the customers are asleep. So what we can do is we can give bigger budget to it by running, for example, let's say from 6 in the morning till 12. And then we see that there's not so many sales, so we cut it off for some time. And then we keep running it from, let's say, 16 p.m. all the way to 23 p.m. And by doing this, we're giving all the ad budget to the active hours, and we don't even run ads when people are not actually shopping. This is a simple trick, yet super amazing, and it made me more profitable. So what are my future plans for this store? Well, when you find something this amazing that scales this naturally, you can't just let it go. So I'm actually going to keep it and scale it more and then update you in a couple of weeks on the progress. Just let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. So what are the key lessons or takeaways from this store that you have to hear? Number one, shipping is important, but start your business first. Most people worry about everything else other than actually making money when they're starting their business. But this will just keep you waiting on the sidelines. It's always a bit scary, so take the first step now and the path is going to become clearer as you walk it. Number two, taking risk can be worth it. Just make sure it's calculated. On this store, I was never gambling and I was also working with a bigger budget. I don't recommend the average person who's just starting to serve scale with huge budgets. Everyone is in a different situation. Number three, the product is everything. The only reason this went so viral and made me $5,000 a day pretty much instantly was because I found the product before anyone else, and it made me scale super fast and profitable. Now that's the story of how I went from zero to making over $250,000 in a month dropshipping as a challenge from scratch. If you like this type of video, make sure to click a like on it and subscribe to my channel and follow my Instagram where I share my journey every single day. And if you want to get mentorship from me personally in dropshipping, you can send me a message on Instagram right here. But that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one.